Alrighty, and welcome everybody to the Nevada Conservative. Gosh, I can't believe I keep forgetting that. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, and we've got some breaking news for you today, folks. This is the day after the Trump trial. Many of you probably been wondering what's going on with the whole Trump conspiracy. So yesterday, what happened is the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, was found guilty on 34 out of 34 counts in a Manhattan courtroom. And it came as no surprise, folks. It just really had nobody was really surprised that this would actually happen. We were actually surprised that it happened so quickly, but not that it actually happened. That being said, what is going to happen the next day? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So many of you remember as we've been talking about the show, and I want to welcome you all to the broadcast. If you're checking this out, folks, we really want to start getting people to enjoy the show. Subscribe to our channel, folks. Subscribe to our channel and let us know that you like this already, and we will try to get as many of these on as we can, especially up to the election of 2024. It's going to be a pivotal time in America. Yesterday, in a Manhattan courtroom, President Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, was found guilty on 34 counts of conspiracy, being a red-blooded America, anything you can imagine he was found guilty on. And many of us knew that the president wasn't going to get a fair trial in Manhattan, a place that voted overwhelmingly for the Democrat Joe Biden. I believe it was 82% of people in Manhattan and New York voted for Joe Biden. So it was pretty much impossible that you were going to get a fair trial. But to add insult to injury, the president had what are we going to call him? We're just going to call him an out-of-control judge who oversaw the proceedings, and it was a debacle. And we've talked about that yesterday, and we'll continue to talk about this in the next coming weeks. But today is the most important thing. Sentencing for the president will actually will happen July 15th, I believe it is, the 5th or the 15th. I believe it's 15th. But there's a lot of people are believing that because the president has no history of being arrested, and that this is a non-violent crime, the crimes that he's been alleged to have done. Now he's going to appeal this. Don't forget that he's going to appeal this. But in the meanwhile, he has to be sentenced, and the sentencing could take many different forms. For each one of the counts, he could get from 4 to 20 years on each one of the accounts. So this is not lightweight stuff. But here's what could happen. He could either be sentenced to the max on each one of the counts, or the judge, who has a lot of leeway on this, could say, okay, we're going to give you probation. Or he can say, hey, we're going to give you probation with conditions. Those conditions could range from pretty much anything. They could range from house arrest to conditional. You could leave the house, but you can only leave with the monitor on your ankle. All kinds of things. Here's what is going to happen, I believe, folks, and you mark my words on this. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. That what is going to probably happen is that the president is probably going to get. He's probably going to be sentenced to all of the years that the judge can allow him to get, and they will probably put him in jail. And if that happens, folks, we've got a total meltdown. Right now, the day that the President Trump was found guilty, the website that gets his donations blew up. He's two websites. One is Donald J. Trump, .org, I believe it is, or .com. The other one's WinRed. He raked in $39 million in less than one day. as a result of him being found guilty. Democrats are, their heads are spinning. They're thinking, oh my gosh, we thought what was going to happen to this guy was that he was going to, was just going to crawl away into a corner someplace. But that did not happen. What happened is it emboldened the Republican Party. It actually emboldened Democrats, independents, agnostics, Christians, everybody, because they saw what was going on here, and it was wrong. It's completely wrong. And so what are Democrats doing now? Democrats are already rallying. They're getting their think tanks together. They're talking to the judge. And even though President Biden is saying, oh, he has nothing to do with this, we know differently. We know definitely differently that it's definitely not, he's not involved with this. He is completely involved with this. So what we believe is going to happen is that the president is probably going to be sentenced to jail time pending his appeal. Now, more than likely, all of these convictions, all these criminal complaints will all be dropped. They'll be overturned. But between now and then, when he gets a hearing on the appeal, that he's going to probably go to jail. And if he does, folks, all heck is going to break loose in America. I can guarantee you that it's going to go crazy here. So keep your eyes and ears open. Now there is something that the president can do. The president can do something there is precedent set for this. He can ask for an emergency hearing by the Supreme Court of the United States, and they can say yes or no, that they can hold off the sentencing portion of this because it is such an important part. Donald Trump is the presumptive candidate for the Republican Party. The Democrats have gone out of their way to try and make sure he cannot campaign, he cannot raise money, he can't do anything because they know right now Joe Biden, if you had the election today, Joe Biden would lose. And so they cannot lose power. We've got a problem here, folks. A problem here of epic proportions. And all we can do with this, folks, is we've got to pray. We've just got to pray for this country because we're going to be in a hurting place. We want to keep you guys abreast of all the things that are going on with Joe Biden and what's going on with this country, folks. But you've got to keep your eyes, you've got to keep your ears open on this, folks, because it's going to be different. This has been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative News. We want to thank you all for being a part of the broadcast. We will see you again probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.